One thing that sets aluminium aside from other metals, its extreme reactivity with oxygen. If you take a piece of aluminium and scratch it, by the time you've walked away, it will have formed an oxide coat. If you leave it alone, within a month, you've got about 20 nanometers of oxide on there. If you've got humidity, warm conditions, you can develop several microns of coat. It's aluminium oxide, also known as carborundum, a ceramic. It's self-healing, so if the aluminium expands, cracks, it'll fill up and self-heal. If you chip it, it'll self-heal. Brittle ceramic, it's an electrical insulator, and people that are developing chips using aluminium are deliberately anodizing aluminium to produce carborundum as an insulator, as opposed to using plastic to insulate aluminium on micro scales. High hardness, I won't quote you a number, but you're looking at somewhere between 600 and 800 to 900 Vickers. Very, very high strength, about 3 times that of strength of aluminium, but look at the melting point. That melting point is higher than most MIG and TIG sources can achieve. An only focused laser can get to those sort of temperatures. Bear in mind the high conductivity of aluminium means that you're going to conduct a lot of what you're trying to do well. That alumina means that aluminium is extremely resistant to corrosion. Extremely resistant to corrosion. So from a pH of 4, moderately acidic, to about 8, 8.5 pH, mildly alkaline, aluminium does not corrode. That alumina really saves it. So for lots of applications, like I said, if it's outside and it's getting regularly rained on, washed, you don't need any coatings. And it's self-healed coating. That's what gives aluminium its corrosion resistance. We mentioned the sort of corrosion resistance of the alloys. It's well documented. So 1000 series aluminium, high corrosion resistance. As you go up, you come down into the engineering alloys, very poor corrosion resistance. These you need to coat. Right. That's it. In essence, the reality of aluminium is any paint, any coating method that's known to man, you can apply to aluminium. Wet paints, powder coats, anodizing, electroplate. The secret is you've got to remove the alumina. That oxide film will form instantly. It's a ceramic. You're not going to get ionic bond into it. So as long as you remove that coating, any pre-treatment works with aluminium. And any coating method works with aluminium. But the secret is to remove that alumina. Next, please. In terms of the aluminium industry, there are other pre-treatments, but in essence, with most aluminium, we have an acid or an alkaline etch. Typically, we might have an alkaline etch to degrease and then an acid etch. We then have a deoxidizing etch, and we may have a desmutting etch to remove copper or things like that, and then we'll passivate it. And we'll passivate it using either hexavalent chromate or non-chromates, xylenes, titaniums, And what is rapidly catching on at the moment is pre-anodizing. The continent is going to flash anodizing as a pre-treatment. Self-healing coat, ceramic, high strength. As long as you coat it before it seals itself, you've got good bonding. Next, please. So the problem with aluminium, and if you're bonding aluminium and wetting aluminium, you've got to remove the alumina. If you don't remove the alumina, your glues are going to do this. You're going to get no bonding. If you've got a sealed anodized coat, suitable for painting, but if you've got a correctly pre-treated coat, which is passivated, that's the sort of bonding that you get, and that's the strong bonding. So with aluminium, when you're painting it, you've got to remove the coating. If you're welding the coating, remove the alumina. If you're gluing it, remove the alumina. Once you've done that, there's no reason why you can't do anything to it. Go on. I'm going to pick out two coatings. I know you guys are experts in other things, but I'm going to pick out two coatings. The one is anodized aluminium, the Selfridges building in Birmingham. Brilliant product. So one snag with it. You've got a lot of diesel taxis and a lot of diesel cars going around there, and this is getting coated in diesel soot. And in galvanic series, soot is up here and aluminium's down here. Soot is only slightly less noble than gold. They didn't realise that you've got to wash and clean it. So those discs are corroding, and they've got no method of cleaning it at the moment. HSE won't allow them to use abseilers. There was talk of helicopters. Incredible product. Remember to plan to clean your aluminium. Architectural aluminium. 1934, the Bodleian Library in Cambridge was clear anodized. First recorded use of an anodizing process. They didn't really know why they wanted to do it. They did it. The windows were cleaned a couple of years ago. No maintenance required. Industrial anodizing. Incredible hard strength, electrical insulator, thermal insulator, corrosion resistance, ammunition boxes. The paint, the colour's there forever, no dings, no dents, no risk of an electrical discharge setting off your ammunition. It's non-magnetic, doesn't burn. Decorative anodizing. Anodize it, fill it with colours. Virtually every colour under the sun, and some that you haven't seen can be done. With organic coatings, the colour will last for 10 years. With metallic coatings, 20. With interference coatings, with things like cobalt and the other colours, a lifetime, 100 years plus, without any degradation of the colour. The other big use of aluminium is powder coating, and I'll just give you a flavour of what can be done. Go on. The Shard. They powder coated the cladding in aluminium and ceiling tiles. Any colour under the sun, including metallics and golds and textures. Canaletto. Powder coated aluminium. Keep going. Baltimore 2, the cladding is all powder coated aluminium. Back one. Oh, St Helens football, yeah, go on. St Helens Health Centre just shows you what you can do with coatings. And I think the last one, the Giza Museum, is powder coated aluminium. to look like stone. The pyramids were made out of stone. They've powder coated aluminium to match the pyramids.